Hello, hello, hello. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2025. This is Dr. Latoya Wells with Wells Legacy Health and Wellness. I am here with you for our first Wellness Wednesday of 2025. I hope that you all had an amazing holiday, that you were able to spend your time with family and friends and those that you love, and that you are energized and you're excited about this new year. 2025 has so much in store for us. And so, what we're going to talk about this time or this week on Wellness Wednesday is getting our new year started. We are 8 days in. How many of you have made resolutions? How many of you have set your intention on doing something different this year with your health or being more intentional about relationships and just taking care of yourself and your peace and your peace of mind and your mental health and your body and all the things, right? Eating better. Many times we have individuals who set resolutions for the new year and they have great intentions and life happens and they struggle to continue with that. So tonight we're going to talk about all the things new year, new you, new things. And so that's the title of tonight is New Year, New Things. There are some things that will remain the same year over year, but it just depends on your personal goals. So before I delve into the topic, I just want to give my introduction. I am Dr. Latoya Wells. I'm just excited to be here with you all tonight. I am Dr. Latoya Wells, Doctor of Nursing Practice, family nurse practitioner, and owner of Wells Legacy Health and Wellness. We are a full service primary care practice where we meet all of your needs. We are accepting insurances and we also offer some cash-based services. So for those who don't have insurance, yes, we can see you and work things out for you. This year is a time of reflecting. I think many of us get into the habit towards the end of the year, and especially the fourth quarter, we get into the habit of just kind of reviewing the previous year and looking forward to what the new year has to offer. I don't know about you all, but I'm a planner and I love my planner and writing all the things down and journaling and all of that stuff. But I can tell you, my fourth quarter did not look the way that I anticipated it to look, and I'm okay with that. I'm learning to give myself grace as it relates to all the things. I'm sorry, got my hair done and it's all over the place. But my fourth quarter didn't go the way that it usually does. I'm typically a planner and I have all the things planned out and mapped out for my new year. And that didn't happen this year. And I'm okay with that. I learned that it's so important to give yourself grace. And that's what I'm doing. I'm walking in grace and I'm giving myself grace, and the same grace that I'm extending to myself, I'm extending to others. And that's what 2025 is all about. It's just grace. Give yourself some grace while you are focusing on your needs and your wants and your desires and things that you have to do. Just continue to make sure that you are extending grace to yourself and to others is so very important. So this year, as we start off, we're new year, new things, right? So what are some of the things that we can do to ensure that you are continuing on your health journey and your wellness journey moving into the new year? And that is setting yourself up for positive outcomes. What does that look like to you? Does that mean setting your alarm to get up early in the morning? Does that look like meal prepping so that you have your meals set up for you throughout the day so you're not tempted to go and stop and go to McDonald's or Chick-fil-A or Chipotle or wherever it is that you eat, Culver's, what have you, Zaxby's, right? That's one of our favorites is Zaxby's. But making sure that you're setting yourself up for positive outcomes when it comes to certain things. And if we plan ahead and you prepare ahead, then you won't have to scramble at the last minute trying to figure out what you're going to eat or what you're going to do. When it comes to exercising, are you someone that plans out your exercises? I've mentioned several times that I am all things Peloton, and there's ability for me to schedule my workouts for the week. And I'm a little behind on that, but I will do that to make sure that I set myself up to where I already know what I'm going to be doing. And if I need to pivot and change things, I have that freedom and liberty to do so. And that's what grace is all about. Are you someone who, you like to get up in the morning before everyone, maybe that's a better time for you to have that quiet time to journal or to just kind of sit and meditate or pray or just have your cup of coffee or what have you. Whatever you need to do in this year to make sure that you're taking care of yourself and that you're placing yourself on the top of the priority list is going to be so important. So first thing we want to do is start with balance, eating healthy. So some tips for healthy eating is start with the balance. Your plate should be colorful, right? Eat all of the colors, the fruits, the vegetables, all of that, right? We don't want bland foods. We want foods that taste good, but we also want foods that are good for us. I'm not a dietitian, but I've been in the healthcare arena for many years, and I've had the opportunity to educate and to talk to many patients about their diet and how it's important, and what we eat definitely impacts our overall health. So making sure that you have a variety of fruits, vegetables, the whole grains, the lean proteins, and the healthy fats. So there's something that I've talked about previously here, and it's the My Plate Planner, and it's a 8-inch plate by where you have this 8-inch plate, and on your plate, half of your plate is your fruits and veggies. So your salad, your leafy green vegetables, your broccoli, things of that nature, right? So half the plate is that. A quarter of the plate is your starches, your potatoes, your rice, your whole grains, pasta, what have you. And then the other quarter is your protein, lean protein. And when we talk about lean protein in terms of serving size, when you look at your hand, that protein should be able to fit in the palm of your hand. And that's the serving size that you should be consuming at each meal. Making sure that you're getting in the protein that you need, that you're getting in the fiber, that you're getting in all of the veggies at each meal is so important to make sure, one, that you have a well-balanced meal and that you're prepared. With that being said, the next thing on the topic that we're talking about in terms of healthy eating is making sure that you're planning your meals ahead of time. We've talked about meal prepping here before. I tend to like meal prepping when I have time to do it, and when I set my intention to do it, then I'm successful. I'm a person where I don't tend to like to eat the same thing more than once or twice in a row. And so for me, I have to be really creative when it comes to meal planning. And that's making sure that I'm meal prepping and that I'm planning ahead, that I have those healthy meals on hand. Because I don't know about you, I can get pretty busy and I will forget to eat. I'll just get going with my day and it's 4 or 5 o'clock and 2, 3 o'clock, and I have not had anything to eat yet. And so I have to be very intentional when it comes to my eating and planning ahead to make sure that I have food available, healthy food available. And so the meal prepping helps because you're able to bulk prepare the food and then have it available breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks if that's how you want to do it. Smoothies, juicing, things of that nature. And so if you are a person that struggles with eating breakfast, why not prep your breakfast? There's the overnight oats, there's the chia seed pudding, things of that nature. And there's so many things out that's available for you on YouTube, on TikTok, on Pinterest, you name it, on social media that can help you with different recipes on prepping your meals so that you have healthy options available. We want to make sure that once you've prepped your meals, and again, going back to if you're someone who's kind of picky and doesn't like eating the same thing day after day, be creative. Create 2 to 3 options for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So that way you're switching up what you're eating throughout the week. And maybe instead of prepping a full week, prep 3 days at a time if you have the time to do so. Many times you can meal prep and freeze those meals for later consumption when you're ready to eat it at a later date. And that also helps. We're in the January, right? We're in the month of January, and there's a lot of people that are doing dieting, a lot of people that are fasting, incorporated intermittent fasting. They're doing things such as the Daniel's fast, or, we're fasting with no food for a certain period of time, and then they'll eat food later in the day, which is essential. There's different types of fasts that you can enter into or that you can participate in. We have dry January, where individuals who would enjoy alcoholic beverages, they're looking at alternatives such as mocktails and things of that nature when they're out hanging out with their friends or when they're socializing. So whatever your goal is this year, make sure that you're setting smart goals and that you're making sure that it's specific, that it's measurable, that it's attainable, that gosh, I forgot our time bound. I forget what R is, but anyway, make sure that it's something that you can do. Don't set these astronomical goals and you've not set yourself up to be able to obtain those goals. And then, it's kind of bummer when you're not able to meet those goals. Realistic was R. Make sure that they're realistic. And so just make sure you're setting realistic goals for yourself. When it comes to mindful eating, I know many individuals and many cultures, eating is a social thing. We eat when we go out with friends, when we're hanging out at our homes, when we have gatherings. There's always food that's available. I went to a surprise birthday party last night, and when I tell you the amount of food that was there, and if I was eating chicken, then I had all of the different flavors of wings there that I could have want. I can't eat chicken anymore. Long story short, I'll have to tell you about it another time, but chicken was one of my favorite meals or foods and source of protein, but I'm not able to eat it anymore, unfortunately. So I can just look at it. But there were healthy options there for me, other options that I could eat. And so it's a social thing. So you're sitting around, you're talking, you're eating. Make sure if you are in social settings and you're going to be partaking in different foods and beverages, that you are being mindful of what you're eating, making sure that you're eating slowly, that we're listening to our bodies, that we're practicing portion control. I don't know about you guys, but I love popcorn, and Publix has the best popcorn, right? I bought this popcorn yesterday, and the bag was full. So throughout the day, as I'm sitting working, as I'm watching TV, I'm munching on this popcorn. And I haven't looked at what the serving size is, but I can tell you I didn't eat one serving size in one sitting. I ate probably 4 or 5, and it was just mindless eating and snacking and, things of that nature. And so we have to be careful about that we're avoiding the mindless snacking, the overeating, and then making sure that we're in tune with our emotions and our stress levels, because when we are stressed and when we have emotional situations going on or things in life that, what is that phrase, life be lifing, right? When we have life happening to us, we tend to deal with stress and have emotional triggers. And for individuals who, not just individuals who have issues with food or eating disorders, but individuals in general, it can impact us more different ways. Some individuals tend to turn to food for comfort, whereas others will kind of not eat because they're stressed. And so we have to make sure that we are mindful when it comes to eating. As I mentioned before, meal planning, prepping your meals in advance, that you have those meals available, that your chances of giving into temptation is reduced because you have those healthy options. And I can tell you, I went and bought a bunch of fruits and veggies, and I'm so proud of myself because I've been able to eat a bunch of fruits and veggies over the past few days and just having it readily available for me. When I pass through my kitchen, there's apples, there's oranges, there's tangerines, there's grapefruits, there's bananas, there's pineapple. All of those things are right there for me. And all it took was me to be intentional to say, I'm going to go grocery shopping. This is my list. These are the things that I want to consume. And as long as I can see it and it's right in front of me, I do well at eating and drinking. This is my newest water bottle. It's 60 ounces. And so my goal is to drink 120 ounces of water a day. Whatever your goal is to stay hydrated, it's important. But for me, as long as I can see the water in hand, I actually have my empty gallon water bottle here. I bought this in the office because I had forgotten to refill my water bottle. And so I just kind of brought it in and dumped it in there. I need to take it out once I'm done. But as long as I see this water in front of me, I'm going to drink it. If it's in the other room where I have to get up and go get it, chances are I'm going to forget. So one, it's so important that we're drinking plenty of water. And you want to aim for 8 cups of 8 ounces, 8-ounce glasses or 8-ounce cups a day. So 8 cups, 8 ounces each is the minimum. There's another recommendation is that you drink half of your body weight in water each day. Making sure that you're hydrated is going to help support metabolism. It's going to help your digestion, and it's going to also help your energy levels. When you're not hydrated, we tend to deal with constipation, dehydration, which then causes other issues, especially if you're someone who has heart issues or if you have issues with your sodium levels. I'm someone who I struggle with maintaining my sodium level. And whenever my sodium levels are low, I tend to have side effects, the dizziness, the lightheaded, the palpitation, things of that nature. And so I know that I have to stay hydrated. One of the things that some people say, I hate the taste of water. And there's so many different brands of water. And I'm not going to get into that. You drink what your preference is, but just make sure that you're staying hydrated. There's so many different options of adding like the circle flavors to the water. And I know that many people are on the Stanley Cup kick. They have an adapter where you can adapt your Stanley Cup to the circle drink. Many other individuals use the different little squeeze juices is the best way. Fruit. Adding fruit and infusing your water is going to help give you some additional taste to it so you're not drinking just the bland water. Making sure that we're limiting processed foods and sugary foods. So refined sugars, processed foods, artificial additives, overall, when it comes to our health, can have some adverse issues. Some people are allergic to them. The processed and refined sugars will prevent you from losing weight. Processed foods many times have elevated sodium levels, elevated, a lot of cholesterol and, not whole foods in them, which can, cause some issues. Want to make sure that you're minimizing sodas, fast foods, excessive alcohol consumption. And again, as I mentioned, we're in January and many individuals are doing the dry January where they're not drinking alcohol. They're looking for alternative beverages to drink. So just be mindful of that. And one of the things that I stress to patients who love soda or the carbonated drinks or the sweet tea. I'm a born and raised in Florida girl, and sweet tea is just like life to me, right? And so I have to be mindful of that. I stopped going to Publix and buying the gallon of tea because it will be gone in a day because we just love tea. And so I stopped doing that. And if I do get the teas, it's in a smaller portion, a half gallon, or even, the smaller ones that you can get from the store. And I love Publix tea. And so instead of getting the regular tea, they have a green tea sometimes that I'll get. And so just being able to have options and switch out those things that are not so good for you for some of the good things. If you are someone who enjoys alcohol, look at some mocktail options. Or when you go to the bar, ask for mocktails to see if they can make one of the drinks that you would usually get with alcohol in it as a non-alcoholic beverage. And so there's many different options. When it comes to physical exercise is so important. Regular physical activity, not only for weight, it's not only essential for weight management, but it also helps to boost your energy, boost your mood. It helps you with sleeping. It also helps to decrease the risk of some chronic conditions like heart disease and diabetes. And so we know, and for those of us who, I don't go to gyms because I have a gym. I've been, blessed to be able to have a home gym. And I'm so grateful that a lot of the stuff, the equipment was free. Like I have a whole Smith machine that was free and a dip bar that was like $10 on Facebook Marketplace. And just recently I was able to get a massage chair for free to add to my gym. But for those of you who go to the gym, and when I'm traveling, I'll use a gym, but for the most part, I utilize my home gym. And for those of you who go to the gym or use the gym, and so I saw on social media, okay, come January 1st, the gym is going to be packed. Someone had a bet. How long do you think it's going to take for individuals to stop and not come to the gym anymore? And so if you are someone who does go to the gym, and many times it's good to get out and have that social interaction with others and to have accountability partners. Whereas for me, sometimes I struggle with accountability because it's just me. I'm not meeting a friend or someone at the gym. It's just me showing up for myself. But you have to make sure that you're showing up for yourself. So what are some realistic goals that we can set for exercising? Start small. achievable fitness goals. Start with those. 20 minutes walking a day. And as you know, the guideline is a minimum of 30 minutes of moderate intensity exercise 5 days a week, so 150 minutes. But if you're going to start slow and increase as you can. So start with 20 minutes of walking a day, or going to a workout class twice a week, gradually increasing the intensity and in the duration. So you're not setting yourself up for failure. If you are someone who has not worked out in a year, 2 years, 3 years or more, to say you're going to go to the gym and work out could be essentially setting yourself up for failure. You are putting yourself at increased risk for injury and hurting yourself. So go slow and increase as you feel, as your body is able to. So want to make sure that you are looking at the consistency of it. How often are you going to the gym? Is it a day of the week that's easy for you? Do you need to go early in the morning before you get your day started? Or do you have time in the middle of your day to go outside and get a walk? Or are you someone who, after you get off work, you go to the gym? We want to make sure consistency is the key and not the intensity of it. If you haven't lifted weights, we're not expecting for you to go out and deadlift 225 pounds. I was looking at a video of myself when I was working with my trainer pre-COVID, and I was able to work myself up to where I could deadlift 225 pounds. And that was a personal record for me. My goal is to get back there. So set goals. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to go tomorrow and attempt to deadlift 225 pounds. I'm going to work myself up slowly. So consistency over intensity. And make sure you're doing things that you enjoy. I was talking to a friend and she enjoys Zumba. And that's one of the ways that she stayed active. And she's struggling to find Zumba. So if anybody's watching and you know of a good Zumba class in the area, let me know. Drop it in the chat. Send me a message so that I can share that information. Or if you know of a Zumba instructor or someone here that I'm connected with on social media is a Zumba instructor, let's collaborate. It's all about collaborating. It's all about who you know and who you're connected with. And so I want to make sure that I'm getting the resources out to my family, friends, and my patients. And again, make it fun. I used to hate walking or running on the treadmill. I'm an outdoorsy person, so I love being outdoors. So now when I can't get outdoors and walk, I'm not much of a runner anymore, but I will get on there and get on the treadmill and walk and hike, with high incline. And as long as I'm following along with a video or instructor, I'm okay. But if I have to get on there and just walk, is such a chore for me and I don't enjoy it. So I found things that I enjoy doing, going outside. So making sure that it's enjoyable. Zumba, the dancing, the hiking, playing sports. Pickleball is one of the newest things, right? And so everybody's getting involved in pickleball. Try something that you've never done. See if you like it. And first I was like, pickleball. Yeah, I know that's not for me. But I'm going to try it here within the next week or so to see how I like it. Making sure that you're staying motivated and that you are being consistent with it. Focus on variety. Mix it up. You want to make sure that you're doing the aerobic and that you're doing strength training and flexibility. Don't focus just on strength. You need cardio as well. And then we also need stretching. I mean, not stress. We want to exercise to get rid of stress, but make sure you're mixing it up and that you're taking care of your body and that overall that you are listening to your body and that your exercise and fitness routine is well-rounded. We can't go and just lift and do upper body and we don't do anything to work the lower body, right? We need to make sure that we're taking care of the whole body. And that means all of the body systems. So there's so many different exercise influencers out on social media that post. You can go on Pinterest. I found some really good exercise regimens on Pinterest, especially when it comes to lifting weights and core exercises, where on Monday and Wednesday and Friday, I'm working out these body systems. Tuesday, Thursday, I'm working out this. Saturday or Sunday, it's something different. So make sure that you are mixing up, but make sure that you are including stretching. As we get older, many of us are working from home. we're sitting around more, we're not as active because of the different work that we're doing. But even still, we need to stretch to make sure that we're keeping flexibility and that we're decreasing stress on our joints and our ligaments and tendons so that we are able to move. And again, as I mentioned, listen to your body. It is okay to start slow. If you have a day where you're just not feeling it, you're super sore, instead of going lifting heavy, why not do some stretching or some yoga or some type of calisthenics that will help you? And why not, maybe get on your bike and ride to kind of flush out your legs? Do something different. It's okay to deviate from the plan as long as you get back on track. Get back on track. Try not to push yourself too hard too soon. It can lead to burnout and it can also lead to injury. And I can tell you, for me during the pandemic, I went hard because I couldn't go to my trainer and I was stuck in the house. And so working out was for me. And that was a really big stress reliever. And when I look now, I try and compare where I am to then. And life is completely different than what it was a couple years ago. And for many of us, we struggle with that. When I look back at my body during the pandemic and where I was and all the gains that I made versus where I am now, it's a lot different. And I have to be able to give myself grace to know that, yes, I can get back there, but it's going to take a little longer. I did not have all the time that I did before. Now I have meetings and all the other things and patients to see and life. And before, when I was able to get up and work out in an hour in the morning and then an hour and a half in the evening because we didn't have anything to do but work out, right? It's different, and I have to be okay with that. And we have to be okay with when we have to shift our routine because of life, and life is happening. And again, as I mentioned, routine, set your routine. So set up your weekly exercise schedule, put it in your phone. Make sure that if you're going to the gym that you take advantage. Some of the gyms offer personal training. If you are able to do that, take advantage of personal training. I did so well when I had a personal trainer because I knew that I had someone who was waiting for me. And if I didn't feel like getting up, when that alarm clock went off, I knew my trainer was waiting for me. And so that was motivation to get out and go. So taking care of your body, and self-care isn't just about pampering yourself, right? It's preventing illness, managing stress, and supporting your overall health. So making sure your immune system is strengthened by eating well, taking care, eating, getting the sleep that you need is going to all help support your immune system. Sleep is non-negotiable. We talked about before, 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep a night. And I'm guilty. There's some nights I don't get 7 to 9 hours of sleep. And so I need to do better, right? I need to put the things in place to make sure that when I set my bedtime, which is 10 o'clock, that I'm in bed and I'm preparing to go to sleep, not that I'm in bed and then I'm working on stuff, but make sure that you're getting quality sleep. When you're rested, it improves your mood, your cognitive function are better, and your immune system is more strengthened than when you're not. So sleep hygiene, we talked about this before, limiting screen time, setting up your room to where, some people have TVs in their room, making sure the TV goes off at a certain time, making sure you're creating a relaxing routine and maintaining that to make sure that you're getting consistent and quality sleep. And again, stress management, we talked about exercising and the impacts of stress on your body. So what are some of the things that you can do? Short breaks throughout the day to make sure that you're relaxing. There are times where I'll get up and I'll just kind of go and take a walk. Being able to have my dogs, is a way for me to get out of the house and go and take short breaks because I know they need to go out, and that gives me that opportunity to be out and about and just walk around the neighborhood, get some fresh air, and making sure that I am taking a break. I have a very stressful career, and outside of that, there's a lot going on. And so I need to make sure that I'm taking those breaks. And then the other thing is skincare, making sure you're taking care of your skin, sunscreen, cleaning, make sure you have a really good cleanser, that you're moisturizing your skin, and that you are paying attention to any changes in any moles or any areas that are popping up on the skin. We should all be seeing a dermatologist at least once a year for a skin exam. Your primary care doctor should be doing a skin sweep on you when they're doing your physical exam. If you're going into your primary care doctor's office and they're not looking at your skin, you need to find someone else, or you need to ask about it, especially if you notice that something is off. When it comes to preventative screenings, making sure that you're following up on your physical exam, those annual screenings that we need to get. And it's based on your age. So again, when you're in your 20s, we want to make sure that you're getting all the vaccines, the flu shot, HPV, all of those things. Mental health screening. If you're feeling anxious or depressed, having depression, make sure you're reaching out to a mental health provider. I love Hello Alma. I've been able to refer many of my patients to Hello Alma, and they've been able to get connected with a mental health provider that has helped them through many things. As I mentioned before, when it comes to annual things that we need to do, skin checks for early skin care, skin cancer, making sure that we don't have any moles that are changing. And then reproductive health screenings for women, the pap smears, the sexual transmitted infections, things of that nature, especially if you are sexually involved, making sure that you're using protection, things of that nature. In your 30s, we need to make sure we're getting our blood pressure checked. Well, everyone, when you go, you get your blood pressure checked once, when you go for your annual physical exam. But if you're someone who has high blood pressure, then of course you're going to be going in more frequently. And we've discussed this. This is just kind of an overview. Blood work, checking for high cholesterol, checking for thyroid issues, checking for diabetes, and many other things. So it is so important that you're getting your blood work done. If you have a family history of breast cancer, the age at which you're going to get your mammograms will change depending upon that. And then, of course, your annual vision exams, and then getting your teeth cleaned. We think about all those things, but many times we forget the teeth. You could not imagine the number of people who have not seen a dentist in a year, 2 years, 3 years. When we're in our 40s, colon cancer screening, and it just depends. Typically, it will start around the age 45. But again, if you have a family history, then you're going to get those colon cancer screening earlier. And then mammograms for women, especially if you don't have a family history, then at the age of 40, you should start getting your mammograms. Regular heart checks. Again, cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugars. And then bone density when we're in our 40s, to make sure that we're not developing osteoporosis, because women who have certain medical conditions, taking certain medications, could be at a higher risk for developing osteoporosis, which is another reason why it is so important to make sure that you're exercising, that you're getting that strength training, that you're doing some body weight or lifting weight to help to counteract osteoporosis and softening of the bones. When you're in your 50s and beyond, again, continue with the colon rectal screenings, the mammograms, prostate exams, vision, hearing loss at this point, and then again, the skin cancer screenings. Make sure that you are sticking to your goals. Set achievable, realistic goals, and make sure that you're tracking them. As we move into 2025, we're already into 2025. Try not to be so hard on yourself. Set goals that you know are going to be attainable for you. Set goals that you know that you are going to be able to achieve. And if you don't, give yourself some grace. Don't be so hard on yourself. If you get off track, if you miss a workout, if you eat something unhealthy, it's okay. Don't get discouraged. Enjoy it in the moment and get right back on track the next day or even later in the day, right? Focus on the long-term benefits. Many times, if I pinch my belly, I look and then look like it did 3 or 4 years ago. And I go and start doing all these core exercises. It's unrealistic of me to think that my core is going to change in a matter of 3 weeks, right? You have to be consistent with it. And you have to think of the long-term effects versus the immediate results. Many times what happens is we set resolutions and we don't see change as quick as we think they should, and we stop. So think about it from a long-term standpoint. I want to encourage you to take one small, realistic change today and stick with it. What is it? What is it for you? For me, it's making sure that I'm drinking my 120 ounces of water each day. Making sure that I am exercising at least 30 minutes a day. And my exercise looks different. I'll, do some spin classes on my Peloton. I might do some boot camps with the treadmill or the Peloton. I might get on the rower. I may lift weights that day. It may mean that I'm doing some Pilates, or it may mean that I'm doing stretching for that day because that's what my body needs. Listen to your body and take care of it. Thank you so much for tuning in again for our first Wellness Wednesday of the new year. Moving forward, we will continue to be here with you every Wednesday. If you have any topics that you would like to see discussed, please let us know. You can email us. If you are in need of a healthcare provider, primary care, reach out to us so that we can get you scheduled. We are accepting some insurances, so give us a call if you want to ask questions regarding that. We offer convenient appointments early morning, evening, and weekends. And we also offer convenient locations. So whatever is convenient for you, we can work on that with you. Stay safe, be well. Until next time, this is Dr. Latoya Wells with Wells Legacy Health and Wellness. Bye.